What's up, you fucking degenerates?
God damn
Welcome
it!
to
Why
my
would you fucking steal
podcast.
my line?
Because you're my special guest today.
I love you, but why?
Well, it's your signature tagline, so what better way to start our first podcast than by stealing your line?
You fucking asshole.
Hey. Okay, well, good evening, everybody who gives a fuck to listen. My name is Sam, otherwise known as Fox in a Box Cosplay, and this is my good friend Harsh Opinions, and we're here to talk some shit
What
about a
up?
certain Hazbin motel that
Oh, a motel? Really? You're gonna talk shit about a motel? Come on now. We're here to talk about our favorite strawberry deer daddy today. We're here to
you
talk about
mean
our strawberry pimp daddy.
the big red stinky deer man?
No, he's a strawberry pimp daddy.
Mmm.
He smells like
So
cherries.
here's Oh, so here's how these podcasts are going to work. For now, we're going to be talking about certain characters and aspects of Hazbin Hotel, and if the interest remains high, we'll just pan off of that and talk about like random shit. But right now, the high for Hazbin is super fucking big right now. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Keep in mind, guys, everything that we are going to be talking about is unscripted. So, like, it's kind of likely that we'll get a little off track, but if we do, that's okay. I mean, not really, but you know what I'm talking about. We're it's not really structured yet, but we're working on it, if that makes any
Right.
sense. All
a
right.
little a little hot tip for everybody. This podcast has been approved by Vivzy Pop, so
I
whatever
literally
we
have a screenshot of our email conversation to prove it if I have to.
show the receipts, sis.
Show
Where's
the
the
receipts,
tea?
bitch! Where's the receipts, bitch?
All right.
Holy fuck.
So, I know has been like really people have been really looking forward to it, but I think for me at least, Alastor was like the one thing I was looking forward to the most in the pilot.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, um, there were like a couple things that we kind of noticed from the trailer. Like, I mean, at first there was, the official trailer, and then there was the final trailer. I remember when you and we noticed like maybe a couple things from the trailer, but then there was
Mm-hmm.
also the Let's Misbehave clip that we also kind of noticed a couple
Right.
things. And then, there was the final trailer that came out like what, 2 or 3 weeks before before like the pilot came out.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Vivzy also confirmed like something about Alastor in regards to his smile, which will kind of, like hold a little bit of water to one of the theories that we will be presenting. Um, do you want to
What?
give out the details
Okay.
or no?
What?
Like, do you want to give do you want to Oh my god.
Okay. So, not so much about Alistair. I mean, most of it is about Alistair, but all these little changes and little details that you weren't there in like the preview clips that are now in the pilot, it just threw me off. Like, okay, we know Alistair had the radio filter over his voice. They could have stayed there, but they took it like 10 steps further. They didn't just have the filter, they also had like the sound of like the dial turning, the laugh tracks, the music, if his tone would change. It's like anytime he's thinking about something, you can hear the sound of the radio just moving. And I thought that was fucking like like my jaw was on the floor the whole time I was watching because like he let's be honest, Alistair is like the most animated person thing, whatever.
He is the most animated and very high strung character that we have been introduced thus far. Because here's the thing, the whole pilot, like the whole point of the pilot is for everyone to be introduced to not the main four, like the main four now became the main six. Like now there's Alastor, there's Angel, there's Husk, there's Nifty, there's Charlie and Vaggie, and they are considered the main six. I know that there will be more characters that will come along, but even when those characters do come along, they won't be as, I guess, prominent as the main six, which was the whole point of the pilot. It's mostly to
Yeah.
get us introduced. And the way Alistair was introduced was honestly flawless. Like it was quite clear that they had a fucking ball with him. Like they had
Oh
a
yeah.
really good time working on him. They had a really good time putting sound effects on him. They had a really good time just showing that the radio and like is actually a part of him. And I think
He okay. I'm gonna give props to Edward Bosco for having an absolute ball voicing Alistair because
oh, it was quite clear that he loved voicing
nobody,
Alistair.
nobody can voice Alistair now. It can't be anybody else. It's like by now, after hearing him talk like that, not just in the clips or the pilot, but like in the streams too, he's set in stone for playing this character until the very end.
You
And
want to know?
really I
I'm sorry,
really hope
continue.
he stays. I really hope he stays with it because he's. It sounds like he has a lot of fun with Alistair, and I'm glad that even I I like have no. It's like you want to say a lot, but you have no words because you can tell that like there's so much love and work and so much fun put into everything. And then
Yeah.
they took it 10 steps further with Alistair because he's just bouncing off the walls. He's singing, he's dancing, he's doing all.
He's literally the typical slapstick cartoon character that you would see like in fucking Tom and Jerry or something where everything is exaggerated for the sake
He's
of
the
comedy.
chaotic energy that I'm asking for.
Exactly. You want to know what I just realized? When you said that Edward Bosco had a ball, did you was that pun intended?
Oh my. Oh, wow.
You know, cuz like
For. Okay. For those who haven't watched the Honeycast streams with one of the animators, her name's Ashley Nichols. Ed is one of the most common reoccurring guests, and the joke because he's like a really avid sports fan. His nickname is Edward Balsco, and so his persona is just a basketball.
you unintentionally made a pun. Oh my fucking god. I can't.
Edward, if you're listening to this, I'm so fucking sorry.
You are not sorry.
Uh, anyways,
All right. So, what's the
listen,
first theory
we
we're
were
going to be talking about?
wait, before we do that, I think okay, we were already looking forward to seeing Alistair. The one thing that everybody was pumped to see about Alistair was his fucking music number. And did they fucking deliver or what?
Oh, they delivered. Like it
How
was Diddy Kong Racing.
how did Viv know that I was a sucker for jazz music?
Bro, are you kidding me? Motherfucker was fucking born and raised in fucking New Orleans, the motherfucking birthplace of jazz. Bro,
they
you better
played
believe
that
that jazz is in his system.
they played that shit to a T from the song
Yo.
until his last line about fucking jambalaya or whatever was like
I am I am literally going to be repeating everybody when I say I got some real Princess and the Frog vibes from his musical number
yes,
alone.
the okay, I believe people were getting that vibe like the moment they realized he was like really into voodoo, but then we all saw that one split second clip of Neon Alastor and everyone lost their shit.
Oh my god, you wouldn't believe how many people lost their goddamn minds and started making so much fan art of Neon Alistair. It's all over fucking Instagram. Like, it is
Myself being one of them.
everywhere. Yeah.
I'm guilty and made Neon Alastor art.
Yeah, I know. You showed me, you ass.
But yeah, he really gives off Dr. Facilier vibes, and I'm
He really does.
absolutely about that.
Especially with that shadow that was kind of revealed at least a couple times.
Yeah, and it's like you can't say that the staff wasn't inspired even a little bit by Princess and the Frog.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you can definitely see that a lot of inspiration came from Disney movies from this pilot alone. Like I actually saw this fucking Tumblr post that legit says Hazbin Hotel is great. It's like Disney, only they get to say fuck, and I died. I was like,
Okay,
yeah.
now to dive into the nitty-gritty of this jerk because there's so much to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think honestly, it's quite clear that Alastor is one of the most complex characters in the series. Well, if it's going to be a series. We don't know if any streaming service is going to pick it up, but I hope it does. Like,
I mean, even if it doesn't, I'm not going to be mad if it takes longer to make episodes because if they look like this every time, then shit, I'll wait a couple years for another
oh
episode. If it's
yeah.
like, yeah, a streaming service would be great, but you gotta think about like what these major corporations do to the creative work. They basically take away the freedom of the creators and do what they want. Sure, you'll get episodes pumped out faster and shit, but like,
Well, then again, that also depends on the streaming service because
right?
remember Voltron Legendary Defenders? Netflix
Mm-hmm.
basically let they basically let them do whatever the fuck they want. Unfortunately, the directors they kind of, got a little power hungry, I guess, and that's what caused the
Yeah,
series to be ruined in the first place. So if Netflix were to pick this up, I can bet your ass that Vivzy would have a lot of fucking control over what happens in the show.
yeah. The only problem with the series moving to a streaming site is that it would limit how many people could watch it because at least on YouTube it's free, everybody can watch it. You put on Netflix or Hulu, not everybody has Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah, but I have come across like a couple sites where they upload like shit, there was a site I went to cuz I don't have access to Netflix. So there was a site I went to where I was able to watch 12 Forever on it. So I'm pretty sure
Mm.
like it's very possible that even if people don't have access to Netflix or any other streaming service, there will be websites out there that will like literally fucking upload those goddamn cartoons and they'll be able to watch it that way.
Kiss Cartoon, you better be listening. Okay, so one thing I've been thinking about since the pilot dropped
Right?
is Alistair's intentions for the hotel. I mean, we thought before that, how would Alistair benefit from helping Charlie? He literally has no reason to help her.
Exactly.
And his response actually made a lot of sense. By the way, this podcast will be filled with spoilers. So if you're watching this, get the fuck out.
Well, that's only if you want to spoil yourself, you kinky sluts.
Right. But he said, for sheer entertainment, he's bored, which makes a lot of sense.
It does.
When you're an immortal entity with all of time on your hands.
Especially if you've been around for decades.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense
It
that
really
Alistair
does.
really he's just a chaotic energy who wants to have some fun. And I want to believe that now. Part of me before this, I actually thought he had some really horrible intentions for this, but now I'm watching I'm like, it really doesn't seem like he has anything malicious planned for Charlie
Yeah, but here's
yet.
the thing. That's kind of what he wants people to think. Because, like, here's the thing. Vaggie, from what we have seen from the pilot, it seems she knows a fucking lot about him. Meanwhile, Charlie knows somewhat about him. Angel knows absolutely nothing. And so it kind of puts Vaggie out as this person who is more informed about demons than any of the other cast members. I mean, she even
Mm-hmm.
has a fucking spear that came from angels, for God's sakes, because she is aware that the only way you can kill a demon is with an angelic weapon. So, the thing is, I believe that even though Alastor is making it out to seem like he has no malicious intent whatsoever, that's something that he wants people to think. He wants people
Right.
to, because here's the thing, when you are living the life of, like being a radio show host and, living your life as a serial killer, you're basically conditioned to live a double life. You are conditioned to
Mm-hmm.
live different personas on the clock. Like by a few hours, you're this person, by another few hours, you're this person, and then by another hours you're this person. Like you're basically like
Yeah.
switching back and forth between personas. And I believe that the way Alistair went about this was just his wacky persona that he usually with like upholds in his radio show. And I mean,
Yeah.
we even got to see a little bit of his sadistic side when he admitted that he is doing this for entertainment and just wanting to watch demons consistently fall back into the reason why they are in hell in the first place. Which gives me the conclusion that another reason why he's there is to sabotage Charlie by causing the demons to completely fail in their objective to be completely cleansed of their sins and go into heaven, which I believe with Charlie's trust and naivety, that's his benefit for being there.
Right.
And so
It
right
it's
now,
so hard to tell with him because Alistair does such a good job of putting on a face, and it's
yeah,
believable.
it really is. Not only that, but he seemed awfully fine with the fact that Charlie didn't want to make a deal with him. Even though
Mm.
I can bet your ass that he has smooth talked and even pushed his way into making deals with other demons.
Oh
And
yeah. I mean,
so the fact that he
Charlie
was.
was
Oh, I'm sorry, continue.
like, I honestly thought she was going to shake his hand, but she was smart in not actually making the deal with him. Because when you make a deal with a demon, you're fucked,
Yeah.
no
Like
matter what.
they will find a loophole. They will
Because
find the loophole.
when you make a deal, that's it. But whether Charlie did a good job or not, she used her power to work around the deal so that Alistair would remain working. But knowing we still don't know what he's fully capable of, just
Exactly.
glimpses of what he can do and all that. I have a feeling, well, I don't know.
Here's the thing.
It's,
I have a feeling that he's going to be real patient with Charlie, and then when she's at her most vulnerable point, they will actually make a deal. They will
oh yeah.
actually like
Well,
I feel like once Alistair sees that Charlie is extremely vulnerable and has nowhere else to go and has nothing else to lose, he will seize that.
yeah. I can for now he doesn't seem like I mean right off the bat you can tell he's not by any means a quote good person, but for now it seems like he's willing to bend over backwards to do anything for this hotel, which is strange, but
Yeah,
again, he said it's for entertainment and for entertainment for himself and nobody else.
which in all honesty, that's really understandable and honestly something that really does sound like him, especially from what we know of Alastor thus far. He seems like the kind of guy that wants to be entertained like all the time, and he can't stick to one thing for the rest of his life. Otherwise, he's going
Mm-mm.
like over because over time he's going to start thinking it's mundane and boring.
Oh
So,
yeah. Eventually,
honestly, this is just
he's gonna
something
get
that is
bored of
normal.
he's gonna get bored of this hotel eventually, and he'll move on to something else.
Well, I
Mm,
don't know. If I mean if he stays for that long to the point where he gets bored and he doesn't do anything, I will honestly be kind of shocked because even though he kind of came off as though or he's all like, "Yeah, I want to be business partners with you." There was also a vibe that I got from him where I'm just all like, "Yeah, I understand that like you're doing this for entertainment, but there's something about you that I don't fucking trust." I mean, you're hot and all,
right. I
but I
mean,
still don't fucking trust you.
it's like he say he's doing it for himself and for entertainment purposes only. But what is his role going to be in the series from here on out?
The fucking
Like,
doorman.
oh,
I mean, he's got the looks for it. He might as well introduce everybody with that handsome face of his, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it seems like he's a savvy businessman too.
Oh yeah, like
Like,
I mean, fuck, he even runs his own radio show. I'm pretty sure he knows a lot about running a business. Like especially since he was basically helping Charlie by being all like, "Yeah, so where's your staff?" Charlie's like, I don't have any staff. I only have Baggy." And he's like, "Oh, bitch, you're gonna need more than that." And then, goes up to Angel expecting something, and instead he gets, "I can suck your dick."
oh my god,
The many
that
expressions you can see in that one shot alone
just
killed
like
me.
just slap that one screenshot up on on the screen. Like, you can see 1,000 different emotions run through his face in a millisecond. It's like, no.
Yeah. Like you could see so many emotions going through his head, and the biggest one is, dude, what the fuck?
I didn't ask to be sexually harassed
I didn't
today.
ask to be sexual. You were triggering my asexuality.
Asexual screeching.
That was
Can I
literally that fucking microphone screech. That was his asexual screeching.
can I say that like Alastor is like the how do I say this? He is like has a lot to him. Like we know Angel was in the mob and his family was not that great, stuff like that. But
His
like
dad was a shithead, that's for sure.
his brother was a shithead,
Oh, his
Jesus,
brother
too.
was a shithead. Good lord.
But like it's so much how much we kind of know about Alistair already. Like where he's from, what he used to do, like here's the thing, we know he was a serial killer. That enough should be enough to land you in hell anyways, but there's definitely a lot more going on, especially with all the voodoo crap and stuff like that.
Oh, you better believe Daddy's got some voodoo going on.
Bruh, just we could make a whole separate video just about the voodoo stuff because that is like
Like that's some
that
real trippy shit right there.
the like
That's some bad juju shit right there.
Like the voodoo seems to make up a good portion of Alistair because
It seems to take up a good portion of his life in general.
if anybody has seen Princess and the Frog, you know what the fuck I'm talking about because there's so many similarities between Alistair and the main villain of Princess and the Frog. Dabbling in voodoo, the moving shadow, the voodoo dolls, all this creepy stuff, and it's like you you can't deny even from that first clip of Alistair, and we were able to pause it that one split second and see all the small details that he's hiding, like the strings holding his mouth up, the voodoo symbols floating around his face, the X on his forehead, the pins in his neck. Like,
Oh, there was also
It,
a couple pins on his heart too. Did you notice that?
oh yeah. So
Yeah. There's
I
some
I would
real fucky shit going on.
I mean we don't know how he died. I mean people have theories, but like one that floats around a lot is that like he was shot like and stuff and like in the woods or whatever. That's a common one I see floating around. But
Now, here's an idea when it comes to the whole he was shot theory. Because I believe that honestly does have a part to play in his death. However, I don't I
I'd like to
I don't buy the whole, oh, some guy mistaked him for a deer and fucking shot his brains out. Like, no, that
I'd
there's
like
no fucking way.
I'd like to think the voodoo shit caught up to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His death could have been scripted. For all we know, his death
And
could have been intentional because he fucked around with voodoo and it caught up to him.
and man. Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
no.
what people don't realize, you can make fun of stuff like this as much as you want. You do not mess around with stuff like voodoo because it's some serious stuff.
It
You
really
have to know
is.
exactly what you're doing. It's not funny. It's not a joke. Like this is stuff that
No.
people actually believe in.
Yeah. Like,
And
literally, black magic and white magic, even red magic exists.
and
It's
then
a common
and then there
practice.
and then there's the whole thing of, well, how did Alastor get into voodoo in the first place?
Well, I mean, I somewhat have an idea of how he got into voodoo. Personally, I believe, like, 'cause here's the thing. When you are in a place like New Orleans, like, and I'm pretty sure, and considering that he was living around the 1920s and didn't die until the 1930s, you better believe that there was some bullshit between being poor and being rich. Being rich meant everything back then. Like, bro, being rich was considered the American dream back in 1920s. And if you were rich, shit, man, you're
You
set for
had it
life.
made.
Yeah, you had it made. It
Um,
didn't matter if you were old money or new money. You had it made. Like, you
um
pretty much made it for the rest of your
unless you
family
were
generation.
unless you were Gadsby, and then you're dead in your pool.
Wow, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. How dare you?
I I have a feeling that uh, when you're dabbling in voodoo, you're also making deals with people.
Yeah, not only
And
that, but I mean, technically speaking, when you're fucking around with voodoo, it's almost like fucking around with Satan.
right. And part of me likes to think that Alistair got his success because of dabbling with that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I have a feeling he grew up dirt poor as shit. Like he grew up like so fucking poor that it was unfucking believable.
I mean,
And
this
what
go ahead.
Well, I'm thinking that, like, here's the thing. He clearly had a personality for entertainment. He clearly did. But the problem is that he didn't know, like, how he could make it big in entertainment because, the radio was a fucking thing. So, of course, he
Yeah.
tried to be a radio show host, or at the very least, he worked at, like, a radio station, but nothing was working out for him. So I suppose that he went and fucked around with voodoo, and now all of a sudden, he's made it big. He's the most entertaining person on the fucking radio. Everyone is looking forward to listening to him. I mean, fuck, you better believe that he might have also hosted in, like, fucking horse races and shit, where literally he was talking at the speed of goddamn light, and everyone was like, yeah, because of how
I
excited he
can
was.
I can see Alistair being a fucking horse race announcer. And he's
Yeah.
going up to the gate, and he's got.
Yeah. Oh my god, the next stream, I shit you not, I am so going to write a script. I am going to pay money to hear Edward literally voices Alastor being a fucking horse race announcer.
Oh, good, 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 good,
I
good.
need to write a
Ed,
script for it.
Ed, if you're listening, you better start practicing.
Yeah, you better start practicing.
just because the just because the pilot's out doesn't mean
Yeah, it doesn't mean
doesn't
you're home safe, man. Sorry.
no.
Doesn't mean you made it to the
There's
home plate yet, brother.
just there's still gonna be people asking you to say, "Oh, Ashley."
Oh my god. Yeah, so like I feel like he got popular and he won his riches through voodoo. And I'm pretty sure he gave up his life to fuck around with voodoo. And then, he made one little mistake and then boom, there goes his
and
brains and he died.
and then there's the other thing. Like, Viv said he was a serial killer. Well, how did that happen? There's like so much about
Um
Alastor we don't know.
I bet
So
you
much.
I bet you they were probably like here's the thing. I thought of two things as to why that happened. One, he went fucking insane because of the amount of voodoo that he was fucking with that it was getting to his head. Two, he was doing them as sacrifices for his voodoo practices.
That second one, I mean, they both sound plausible, but that second one seems to fit more in like if you switch those two around and like put it on a timeline,
Mhm.
it sounds like a little more believable that way. I mean, I believe both theories, but if you like switch them around and put them on a timeline, killing people for sacrifices and then realizing that, I mean, you've seen the comic with him and Mimsy, and she's telling him that he's like enjoying it way too much, and it's getting to his head, and then he just fucking kills her, and it's like, oh
Wait, I thought that
shit.
was a fan comic.
No, it was a fan comic.
Oh, that's what I thought. Well, here's also the thing that I thought of. It's also the fact where well, it's quite clear that just by that one little spot, like just that one little moment alone where he admitted that he was joining the hotel for entertainment and watching demons like fail in getting their redemption, it's kind of made clear that he's a psychopath, that
Mm-hmm.
he is considered a psychopath. I mean, sure, there might be some occasions about him where it seems like he's a sociopath, but no, it's quite clear that he's a psychopath because he knows what the fuck he's doing and he is like thinking through his actions like very carefully. Psychopaths, they usually think through their murders rather thoroughly. Meanwhile, sociopaths, they just do it, and the crime scene that happens because of sociopaths, they're usually messy. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
psychopaths, they usually they usually make sure that there is no trail that leads up to them, and they continuously pull facades. They continuously wear masks. They continuously wear personas and all that shit. And
Right.
it seems to me like Alastor might be showing signs of psychopathy, which would also explain, which would also, like, I'm pretty sure his psychopathy got worse because he dabbled in voodoo, which would also
Mm-hmm.
explain why he thought that committing serial murders was a good idea. One, for sacrifices, and two, because he began to enjoy it over time. And then
Oh yeah.
over time, the voodoo started getting to him. It started causing it probably caused him some really bad anxiety. I'm pretty sure it did, considering how when you're fucking with black magic, the spirits that you're fucking with, they tend to want more than you can handle. And I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
Alastor was trying to fit to their expectations because I'm pretty sure at some point it was like he became a servant to them at some point, which would then explain why his killings started to become more and more erratic and why they started to become more like he was doing it because he fucking wanted to.
It's like he had no choice. It could have gotten to that point.
Yeah. And then when Alastor
Wait,
what?
okay, this might sound way out there,
Mhm.
but would you rule out his death as suicide?
I mean, depending on it? I mean, like here's the thing. Like I mean, shit, that is honestly a possibility
I mean,
because
when you if you go back to like saying, he just can't, it's too much having to do this over and over again. It's like come to a point where, these spirits are asking too much of him.
not only that,
And
but I'm pretty sure even society is catching on to what the fuck is going on.
I mean, he can smooth talk all he wants. Eventually, people are going to catch on.
Yeah.
It would be, I wouldn't, like, just today, I'd seen a fan. I mean, one of the animators had made I'll show it to you later, but they'd made it like some kind of silly fan animation to like what is it called? The family friendly new song, whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
is.
I saw that. It was really good. I loved it.
And then it clipped to a split moment of um human Alistair hanging up a noose with his face getting to the hoop. And I'm like, oh, wait, what? Hold up.
I mean, honestly,
So,
the idea of Alistair committing suicide because he's overwhelmed of everything that's happening, I mean, to some extent,
or
that does make sense.
either being overwhelmed by everything or realizing that he doesn't want to get caught, tried, jailed, death row, whatever. So he just takes the easy way out and just offs himself. I wouldn't put it past him. He's a he's a selfish kind of person. Not real talk. Not saying suicide is a selfish move. Don't not even going there with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But it's Alistair's character. He's a selfish, egotistical, narcissistic person,
Oh, yeah. It's
and
quite
I
clear
wouldn't
that he
put.
is in the pilot. Like, it is so fucking clear that he is.
I mean, he thinks very highly of himself, and like everybody's beneath him.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many possibilities as to how he died, but now I can't stop thinking about this.
Yeah. Because this just sounds like something that he would honestly do. Alistair would be way too full of his pride to actually turn himself in and, go through his jail time or even his execution. Because I'm
Right.
because I'm pretty sure that a lot of the times serial murderers they are trialed with an execution, like most of the time, especially back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure
I
Alistair
mean,
was way too full of himself to want to go through with his sentence.
yeah. I
Because
mean, I've
cons-
seen plenty of fan fiction where, you know, he's still human and they've caught on to him and he this is a theme I see a lot. He always makes an attempt to escape. And in the end, he'll get a bullet through the skull or whatever, but the suicide option definitely seemed
yeah.
like it would fit his character at least.
Yeah, because I just don't see him like willingly taking his sentence too well and try to
Mm-mm.
escape. Like I really don't see that like at all. And even if he did go through with his sentence, I'm pretty sure that
He
even
probably would have killed himself before they could do it.
yeah, like he probably would have stabbed his own neck several times with a goddamn spoon. I'm telling you, that's
It's,
happened. That's happened to inmates before. They will literally,
wait, really?
yeah, they will literally stab their neck until they fucking bleed out with a spoon or a fork that they took with them from the lunchroom. They would usually do it like the day before their execution or days before it. They would rather kill themselves than have other people kill them.
Hmm.
So it like
Viv, we want answers.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past Alastor that he might have killed himself that way. Like he just went and decided to kill himself. I mean, to be honest, that kind of makes a lot of sense if you think about it. I mean, shit, it's just like how my girl Amphisbina, she attempted to commit suicide by overdosing, but instead she ended up choking on her own pills and died that way. It would just make sense when prideful people don't want to get caught and they don't want to go through with their sentence because they're too full of themselves. They think the easy way out is to kill themselves because they're the only people who are worthy enough to actually kill themselves.
Right. I actually never thought of this until, like, this moment
Uh huh.
right now. I always thought Alistair was, at the time I thought that, getting shot by accident or on purpose was seemed like the most logical one, but after we talk about this, it's like, okay, either the voodoo shit is getting too overwhelming and just offs himself. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore. And as punishment, it follows him around in hell for the rest of eternity. Or he gets caught, doesn't want to, as a final fuck you to the rest of society, just kills himself because, you know,
Yeah.
fuck you. I'm still the greatest. Only I can do it the best.
Yeah.
Peace out.
I do
Like,
believe that
Viv.
I I do believe that the voodoo shit did follow him to hell though. It's quite clear that it's taken over and I believe that's his punishment. He is
Watch,
their he is their voodoo doll
watch,
now.
we're gonna get a cease and desist from Viv because we got it right.
Oh shit.
Viv, please, I swear we're just guessing. We don't know
Yeah, we're just
shit.
guessing. We really don't fucking know. It's your fault that you made Alastor so fucking interesting and hot and sexy and kind of bangable,
I
but
want
not
to.
really.
I want to suck this dick. What?
Damn, you
Angel?
thirsty. You know what? So am I. I shouldn't be
Oh my
judging.
god. I let me. I don't know how much you know about this, but do you think he might be a schizophrenic?
I mean, I'm not sure, but then
Because.
again, hold up. There's this thing, like, I just now thought of it. Like, since you brought this up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been revealed by Viv that he can alter reality.
Mm-hmm.
Would that tie in with the
Um.
idea that he might have schizophrenia?
Hmm. I mean, it's obvious in the pilot. He can warp reality, move people around against their will, and it's like, hello.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I find little tidbits about characters interesting. Like when someone kept asking in one of her drawing streams, "Is Alastor racist?" and she's like, "No, he's mixed race." And I went, "Wait, wait, 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 wait. What?"
What? Yeah, I mean, I never thought that another person would ask the same question, is Alistair a racist? Because here's the thing, back then in the 1920s and so forth,
It
racism was
was
kind of a big thing.
it was a product of its time. It was a common thing. It was just a thing people
Especially
did and
among rich
said.
people. Especially among
And
rich
when you
people.
consider the fact that Al is mixed race, that would have definitely landed him on I don't know how to say this, a lower scale in society, at least then.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was already on a lower scale to society, considering that around his time he was probably new money. And let me tell you, old money has absolutely no respect for new money. Like, they don't fucking like new money, like, at all. And then I'm guessing when they also found out that he was mixed race, like an interracial baby, that put him in the even lower scale, which made it even harder for him to even be accepted in the high society.
Right.
I can bet you that that also played a part in his life.
Hmm.
Which makes you wonder,
Shit.
which makes you wonder, what is his race? I mean, I bet you
Well,
he's white by
let
all
me let
means.
me let me say this. Based on where he's from, where he lived. I mean, it's possible he didn't live in New Orleans before then, but it seemed just from what like he said in the pilot, I think it's possible he was probably born and raised in the South,
Oh yeah, definitely, especially since he mentioned jambalaya, which is
which
which
is
like
a New
it's
Orleans staple.
not only that, but it's considered soul food.
Right.
And soul
So
food is like it's normally an African American dish.
so it's incredibly possible that he's half black, half white.
That would be really
Not pinning
interesting.
not pinning that because there's a possibility he's not, but just based on where he's from, that would seem like the common mix.
Yeah, not only that, but even Viv confirmed that he was interracial. Like honestly,
But then again, we don't know what races she could be talking about. But guessing just based on geography and where he grew up, that just seemed
along with the timestamp,
right.
it's very likely that he grew up in a like a black household. And honestly, that really makes his character all the more interesting when you think about it. Because I know that a lot of the time around like despite
Oh,
how poor everybody was, they normally kept positive.
right. Let me interject for just a hot second.
Yeah.
For for those who don't know, I'm a musician and I've been playing trumpet for years and years and years, which means I did my research on a lot of jazz artists, and a lot of them came from New Orleans.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Alastor's like culture and his appreciation for the jazz music and like going back to Princess and the Frog, what was the majority of jazz musicians? African Americans.
Yeah.
So that going back to Alastor being mixed race and where he's from, that seems like, the
It just
majority
it just
of
further points that he's half white, half black.
allegedly can't
Allegedly.
like pin it yet, but it seems the most likely.
Yeah. And honestly, that honestly is a nice touch about him. That is honestly a nice touch that he is an interracial person. I honestly really like that.
It's Viv, if you ever fucking listen to this, which I highly doubt, but you never know. The fact that Al plays the same instrument as I do, that makes me so fucking happy. Like, I'm like, she's like, oh, he plays trumpet. And I went, oh, wait, rewind. You said what? He plays what?
Oh my god. Doesn't he also play like a strings instrument like a violin?
She also said he plays the fucking Furby organ.
Oh my god. He could make an instrument out of fucking anything, including the Furby organ.
But this is why Alastor is my favorite in this show. There's a lot to him,
There's a
and there's
lot to cover with him. Like there is a whole
hmm.
fucking lot. Wasn't
People can
hmm
say all they want about Viv, but her characters are so full of they're very fleshed out characters, and
Oh yeah.
I will fight everybody.
Of course you will.
Naturally, anybody who comes from my big stinky deer man is gonna have to listen to me.
Oh my god. Okay, so here is
Wait,
what?
hold on. You know what? You go first.
No, what were you gonna say?
here's the thing. Why is he a deer? What is his fascination with being a cannibal?
Well, didn't Viv confirm somewhat that like Alastor used to be a hunter?
I don't think I've seen plenty of fan art of him being a deer hunter, but I don't know if she confirmed it. I can't confirm or
Yeah,
deny that.
I don't know.
But it's like it's another common theme with human when Alistair was human that he was a deer, an avid, like almost unnaturally obsessed with deer hunting, and then he becomes one, and it's just he goes all out from there. And
Because
I'm like,
apparently it's his punishment, from what I
mm.
remember from
I mean,
Viv.
I then now I'm thinking back to like the really old art of Alistair, like
Mm-hmm.
when she first made him, and she'd said that Alistair originally was a deer and the humanoid form was just something he could turn into, and then as she evolved him over time, this form he has now is what he is, and a deer is just something he can turn into.
Right.
So
Honestly, it makes
I
me honestly, I'm kind of curious about that too. Like I'm really curious as to why he is so interested in deer. And I'm not
hmm
sure. I mean, I think what also I think what is also pretty funny is the fact that he's a is a cannibalistic deer, and yet by the end of the pilot he brought up jambalaya and wants to enjoy jambalaya, and I'm all like, I figured you would want it deer steak, but no, you want jambalaya. And
I mean, there
honestly,
could be venison in the jambalaya.
oh yeah, that's true. But now it kind of leads to the question of whether or not it's the voodoo that's his punishment or it's the serial murders that's his punishment. Because here's the thing, if I remember correctly, the reason why he is a deer is because it's his punishment. He was always the predator, now he's the prey because deer are
hmm
considered prey animals. They are considered
it,
they are considered the prey a lot.
and it doesn't seem to bother him, honestly, because he's still the one. He's still the predator,
Um,
even more so.
let me see. Was there Yeah, like
You
here's the
think
thing. What was it?
what?
What were we gonna say?
You this was something that I'd seen someone else come up with. But do you think if when he died, he didn't think he deserved to be in hell, or you think, yeah, I was bad. I'm gonna be even more bad.
I mean, considering how considering his response to um to Charlie's question about whether or not he actually believes that demons can be redeemed, he literally says, the chance they are given
No.
is the life they lived before, and the punishment is this. So
Okay.
I think he accepted the fact that he was gonna go to hell way before he even came down there.
Oh yeah, because he made a deal with voodoo. He probably knew he was fucked from the
Oh
beginning.
yeah. So I just looked up deer from New Orleans, and apparently uh they actually sell deer steak.
Oh,
They like there are restaurants where they serve Cajun deer steak. And
that sounds fucking delicious.
yeah, and then there's also places where there is a deer, like the best deer processing in New Orleans. Like there is Lionheart Catering, there's Mardi Gras Zone, um there's LA Wild Deer Depot, Crescent City Meat Deer Processing off the bone. Like there are places where they sell deer, and they treat deer like it's a delicacy. So
Hmm.
I'm guessing that in New Orleans there were places where they sold deer, and that could be what made Alistair like deer in the first place. Is because considering that he probably cheated his way into high society. I'm pretty sure deer meat was considered a very expensive delicacy in the rich folk society. So he was able to taste
Mm-hmm.
that because he was rich. And now look where he is. He's a fucking cannibal.
He,
Honestly, if you think about it, that kind of makes sense.
I want to see Alastor celebrating Mardi Gras in hell.
Oh my god. That would be fucking hilarious. Holy shit.
Burst into the hotel throwing beads at everybody. Happy Mardi Gras!
Happy Mardi Gras!
C'est la vie!
And then Angel's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like, it's Mardi Gras, Angel. You get to do what you do best. What's that? Flashing your titties! For free stuff.
Oh my god. And then meanwhile,
It's like,
Husk is like, I'm just in it for the beer.
he's like, Husk is in it to get drunk. Alistair's throwing beads at everybody. He makes it one huge party just for himself.
Right? And Angel is just flashing his fluffy tits everywhere. Charlie is wondering what the fuck is going on along with Baggy. Nifty is like, yay!
Angel's round saying, give me beads!
Oh my fucking god. Give me
Oh.
beads! And I don't mean the ones up my ass!
This podcast is officially 18 plus. All minors get out.
I mean, Hazbin Hotel was not meant for kids from the start, so like
No. Absolutely not.
I'm pretty sure most of my demographic is like filled with young adults to adults anyways, so
Adult Swim, you better pick up Hazbin Hotel.
I swear to fucking god if they do, holy shit.
Replace the swill that's running on TV right now. Just play Hazbin Hotel.
Oh my god. All right, is there any other topics that we haven't covered yet?
Let's see. Voodoo serial killer, possible death, deers, cannibals. What his intentions are. I don't think there's. I'm gonna kick myself because I'm probably gonna think of something after we're done recording
Right.
this.
So like
I don't think there's.
you know what? I actually just thought of something that I have actually thought of for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It revolves it revolves with his love life situation. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. Viv has confirmed that Alastor is asexual, which is something I totally understand. However, that leaves the question of how asexual he is, and whether or not he was asexual even before he died. Because I'm pretty sure he got involved with romance at least one point, but it didn't work out for him, and then he's all like, yeah, fuck love.
I think from one of her streams, because someone had asked her how asexual is he, on what spectrum is she, and she said, if I told you the real answer, the fans wouldn't like it, so I'll leave it at that, which to me means he's not only asexual, but also aromantic
Not only that,
as well.
but considering his reaction to Angel when he offered to suck his dick, it's kind of likely that he's also sex repulsed. Like
Absolutely.
like
Because
he's probably sex repulsed.
you can be, but then there's a whole
You're cutting out. You're cutting
spectrum
out a lot, Sam.
of asexual. Oh no.
Okay,
Oh
repeat what you said. You're much better now.
okay. I think I was sitting on my headphones. Whoopsies.
Nice job.
Like you can say you're asexual, but then asexuality by itself is a spectrum, because you can be completely sex repulsed, completely romance repulsed. Pretty sure that's where
Yeah.
be like okay with having a libido, doing certain things for your partner, only being okay with doing those things for your partner,
Oh
being okay
yeah.
with certain things. But Alistair, just from what Viv said, he is repulsed by everything, wants nothing to do with affection, love, romance, sex, nothing.
I mean, I know that there are some I know that there are some asexuals who only have sex because it's their partner. They
Mm-hmm.
typically only have sex because their partner either wants to have sex or they are the only people who typically give them a sex drive. And
Right.
there's also the aromantic spectrum where aromantics, they're typically not romantic unless it's their partner, because their partner brings out a closeness in them where
Mm-hmm.
they feel like they can trust them with their emotions, which then brings out the romance.
Right.
So
I would
I don't
love
I don't
I would
know.
like to see Alistair have a romantic spouse, but just from what Viv said, it seems like he is all bars, nothing, wants nothing to do with any of that. And I respect that because
Oh
there are actual
yeah.
people, because there are real people with those real feelings.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it kind of leaves you wondering, has he ever tried? Or at the very least, has he had a marriage once in his life, but it failed horribly? Like, for
I
all
mean,
we know, because here's the thing. Accepting your sexuality is a bit of a big step, and it's a hard step. And then there's the second step where it's coming out to it. It's coming out
mhm.
and loving yourself for it. And it kind of makes you wonder, has Alistair perhaps ever denied this? Has he perhaps been concerned about it and forced himself
I
to be
don't
with a woman he truly didn't like?
I'm honestly wondering if he ever considered that given what time period he is from. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
now, if you ask anybody, we have a wide spectrum of sexualities. If you ask anybody from that time period, asexuality was probably never a thing, and Alistair probably thought nothing was wrong with him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Not only that, but considering in high society, you are expected, like, if you are old money, you are expected to marry someone who is rich. Especially if you were born as a woman, you are expected to marry someone who was rich. And I bet you
Hmm.
that because of that, he was probably put in a situation where he had to marry a woman he didn't even like, simply because simply because her parents wouldn't stop pushing it, which then led
Hmm.
to some
I mean,
really big unhappiness. And I think that kind of might have led to him accepting the fact that he wants nothing to do with love, like, at all, because it's a complete waste of time and it's inconvenient.
shit.
I mean, it's quite clear to him that love is an inconvenience. And not only that, but he's just not interested. Like, ever. I mean,
Sexual favors, sexual favors from Angel are an inconvenience.
oh my god, sexual interactions in general are a big no-no and a big inconvenience. Now, I understand that in the past it was written that Alistair and Mimsy were together. But
At some point those two were a canon pair, but she dispersed that. But Viv, the internet lives on forever, and
oh yeah,
I still ship it to this day because it's adorable.
it is cute. Like, it is really fucking cute. It really
If
is.
any if anything now, like if they ever interacted in the series ever, they would be like super close friends
They
and all that.
would. It's I mean, I know Viv introduced this character named Rosie. Is that her name? Rosie? And
Oh, people went hog wild when they saw Rosie.
oh my god, yeah, and basically she said that their relationship was like the two main from Mary Poppins, and I'm all like, that is so
That's
cute.
cute.
That is cute. Of course, Alastor would love to sing with people. Like, you better believe he would love to sing with people. He enjoys the
So
shit out of it.
he does have positive relationships with the opposite sex, which is nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, even if you are asexual or aromantic, that doesn't mean you can't have positive interaction, like interactions with the same sex or the opposite sex.
Here, let me, as someone who dated an asexual at one point,
Mm-hmm.
they told me that at least for asexual, there's a term for a best friend who is like a spouse, but you're super close with them. It's they're called a squish. It
Huh.
sounds cute, but it's a real term, I believe, because they told me this when we were still together. Like a squish is a friend that you are is like more than a best friend. You're super close with them, and you can be in share intimate things if you want, but it's like they're more than a best friend, but they're still a friend, and there's someone you share those close things with, but not on a romantic scale.
Right. Hmm.
Like, god damn it, I'll picture Allison. Will you be my squish?
Oh my god! You know what I think would be a really nice touch is if Alistair were to wear like a ring on his middle finger that signifies like asexuality. Honestly, it
Mm.
would be a nice touch. It
I
really
think
would.
if you stuck Alistair into these modern times, he would not understand all of these
Well,
sexuality
no shit.
labels.
I mean, he died before the microwave was even invented.
Sad. Or the felt tip pen, apparently.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, he wouldn't see the necessity for all of these labels, like
He just wouldn't really give a shit.
insert shrug emoji.
Yeah, he's like, I have no label. I just don't give a shit.
It's like, I hate everybody equally.
Under any other circumstances, you would have had a point there. Except my boss is a woman. I was a chick in the 40s. I hate everyone equally, and there is no one alive who can guess my sexual
Sexual
preferences.
preference.
So, in other
I
words, Miss Baggy,
words.
cha
Miss
cha
Van
cha
Winkle,
check your
check your
privilege.
privilege. I cannot believe you just put a Helsing abridged reference into this fucking has-been motel podcast.
You are welcome.
The
Take
fuck?
it and shove it up your ass. You are welcome.
You played right into one of my other obsessions.
Yes, I did. Alrighty, is there any other topics that you want to talk about, or are we all good?
um, fuck, I had one right before you started talking about the thing. Give me a second. Play the Jeopardy music.
Do 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 do
Oh,
do.
fuck. I hold on. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Mm,
That's what she said.
shut the fuck up, Angel Dust. Um,
Oh my
fuck. Oh, um, is Alistair in control of himself?
oh shit, that's honestly a good fucking question. Like, because from what we have
Be-
seen, like, like from when he glitched out, it kind of seems like he's not, but at the same time he is.
I mean, from what we see, it seems like he is absolutely in control of his powers, but is he in control of himself?
Like
Which
his
is a whole other
body.
thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, for all we know, this could be like a puppet. Like fucking Alistair could be a goddamn living voodoo doll.
He may not even be real. He may not even be.
Yeah.
He may not even be have a physical form at least.
Like he is probably a figment of everyone's imagination in hell. I mean, he can alter reality. He can warp reality. He can literally warp, like, the fucking world itself in hell. That's,
Hmm.
I mean, if you think about it, that's like Lucifer level powerful.
He may be just below Lucifer at this point. Like,
Here's the thing, I
if you
feel
want,
like him and Lucifer are toe to toe.
oh yeah, if those two were to like duke it out, it'd be anybody's game.
Oh, yeah. Like, bro, you're fucked if you get caught in that crossfire. So, would that mean that perhaps he's not real, but he's a figment? He's a manifestation.
It that was the one thing I got thinking about when we saw, which clip was it? When Vaggie was talking about Alastor.
It
And at
was,
the end of the clip, you see him glitch out for a second, and which made me think, is he really a physical form?
yeah, but that's kind of weird because that little shot of that clip was removed in the pilot, which makes
I
me,
did notice that.
yeah, which kind of makes me wonder if perhaps they did that to kind of cover up that it was a missing frame. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting to note that despite that, Viv did confirm that Alistair was able to warp reality. He was able to,
Mm-hmm.
like, he's able to, like, fuck up reality. So, I mean, here's the thing. He did die. That is something that Viv confirmed. But here's the thing. We don't exactly know what happened to his soul after he died.
True, because he kind of just gave it away to the voodoo spirits, and they probably still have a hold of him.
They probably still got a hold of it. Like, they still got a hold of that fucking soul. Therefore, they're basically making a figment of what he could look like as a sinner, as a normal sinner.
I mean, it seems like he's on good terms with whatever spirits he's involved with because, they play along with his tricks and stuff and all that.
I feel like one of the spirits is the one that's talking to him with his microphone. I feel like that could be one of the spirits he's affiliated with.
Bro was shook when the fucking microphone talked. I was like, what?
Well,
It
I heard
talked.
you loud and clear.
Good job, Dave. You did good voicing the microphone.
Yeah, even though it was one line. Poor thing.
It's fine. I was like, huh, what if the mic is alive? And oh, it was.
It was. Nice job. Ah,
Fu-
but
no one but a few friends know this, but I actually drew a humanoid version of the microphone, and Viv liked that tweet, and
I remember that. I remember that. It was so cute.
I was like, huh, look at him, he's so gay. And then she liked it, and I was like, what?
Listen, like here's the thing.
It's like
Here's the
it's
thing.
like she knew.
Oh my god. Like here's the thing. I personally think that the microphone is one of the spirits that Alistair is involved with.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
It
like
it might be a source of some of his power.
definitely. And then there was also the shadow that he summoned during his musical number. That could also be another spirit that he's affiliated with.
It might be the same one that followed him around on the wall.
Definitely. And honestly, I feel like that could be his main guy. Like that could be his main spirit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
You know what
feel
I
like
like?
what's up?
You know what I like to think about? People are like, "Oh, Alistair is even though he always smiles, his expressions are super like you know what exactly what he's feeling, even though he's always grinning.
Yeah.
Like it seems like his emotions are more evident when he's smiling. And I'd seen a tweet today, just today, that said, "What if there's a point in the show where Alistair frowns and everyone knows, oh God, we're fucked."
I mean, I'm pretty sure that anytime Alistair frowns, someone dies.
I always wonder what it would take to see Alastor frown, and I think it'd be very bad, like very, very bad.
Like, here's the thing that, like, okay, so Vivsy confirmed that Alistair believes that when you frown, it's a sign of weakness.
Weakness.
And he doesn't want to show weakness at all, so he smiles. And so when someone makes him frown and they see that, you better believe that you're gonna fucking die because he doesn't want you to live knowing that he showed weakness. He's too much of a prideful
Oh.
person to let that happen.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which is why
Viv, what have you done to us?
I believe this is why I said when he frowns someone dies, like someone is bound to die, and it's because he doesn't want anyone to see him at his weakest and tell the tale.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That is one prideful motherfucker.
And
Alrighty.
he's a stud muffin.
Oh,
Mm.
you better
Viv,
believe it, honey.
how dare you make a super attractive character and make it that nobody can have it?
Yeah, but here's the thing, that's the appeal of his character. It's just like when straight men go after lesbians. They want what they can't have. You know I'm right.
You know, people are like afraid of being, I don't know, rude or whatever by shipping Alistair with anybody else. It's, Viv said she doesn't care. You can ship
Yeah.
him with whoever you want.
I'm
Just
pretty sure
don't be
Vivsy
a
has
dick about it.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Vivsy has been involved in several fandoms to understand how they function. Therefore, she doesn't really give a fuck. It's quite clear she doesn't even give a fuck if there's porn of Alistair. Like she doesn't fucking care.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure she's aware of like the like one. I'm pretty sure Alistair is like the most attractive character. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Oh, you better believe he fucking
And the
is.
and it's like, how dare you make the most attractive character
I mean,
Ace?
I mean coming
Ace.
up coming up in second on the most attractive character is Angel. Definitely Angel.
Oh,
And I
it's a.
cannot
You know what?
wait to talk about him in the next episode.
Oh yeah, for me, it's a tie for the both of them because Angel is he's beautiful.
Oh my god, he's gorgeous.
If he wasn't gay, I would let. Never mind.
Don't say that.
Anything for money. Well, according to Katie Killjoy, he'd do anything for booger, sugar, and lube.
Holy shit. No, she said, I'm pretty sure you can get that hooker to do anything with enough booger sugar and lube.
I
Oh my
fucking
god.
hate her.
I know, she's a fucking bitch. Literally, I wanted to fucking kick her ass. Like, holy shit. I want to be all like, you want to fucking go? You want to fucking
I'm
go,
like,
slut? Holy shit.
I don't.
I understand that
When
she's
she's,
written to be hated on, but holy shit. I didn't think it'd be that
she's like,
bad.
I don't touch the gays. 5 seconds later, touches Charlie's boobs.
Yeah, and immediately Charlie called him out and said, yeah, and how's that working out for you? I died.
Oh god.
Holy
Well,
shit.
I think
We are an
this
hour and like almost 20 minutes in.
I think we can conclude with this episode. There was a lot to talk about. Alistair, this might be the longest one because with Alistair, there's a lot to talk
Oh
about.
yeah. Well, then again, there's also Angel. There's plenty to talk about with Angel as well. Especially since, we learned a couple things about him through the comics that recently came out. Oh,
Oh,
I
but
can't
that's for
wait to
another
talk.
episode.
Yeah, and I can't wait to talk about those.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody, and fucking putting up with our bullshit at
Yeah, we
these
hope
wee
you
hours of
hated
the
it.
morning. Oh, and
Oh,
this
And
And as
Vimsy,
Alastor would go ahead,
if we went upon any spoiler territory, you
kick
are
our
very
ass.
yes, you are very much we are giving you our permission to kick our asses.
And to conclude this stream, as Alastor would say, stay tuned, folks.